When you're developing a product that you're selling to the public, it's pretty important that it's high quality to meet people's expectations. So for our 3D printer stand products, we use an Avid CNC machine to do all of the manufacturing. We start with high quality Baltic Birch plywood and secure it to our spoil board using plastic pneumatic nails. And they're plastic so we don't damage any of our CNC bits. And the very first pass that we make on most of our designs is an onion skin cut. And this helps to remove most of the material around all of the parts. This cut doesn't go all the way through, so all the pieces are still in place, but it really helps remove a lot of the material, making it a lot easier for smaller bits and other cuts. And we also use the same bit to do a Dado pass. Dados are basically slots that cut about halfway through the wood, and when you assemble the stand, other parts slot into them. This is a wood joinery method that adds a lot of surface area for gluing and a lot of strength to the stand. But one of the downsides to using a large bit here is it leaves these rounded edges. And we need those corners to be square so other parts fit into them. So we're using a small bit to get into those corners and square things up. This is a really quick pass. We're not cutting out a lot of new material here. We're just getting into those rounded corners. See how the corners squared up pretty nicely and we didn't have to use a chisel. Now we're using the same bit to cut out screw slots. These are on the back of every 3D printer stand shelf to allow you to mount them to the wall if you don't want to use the built-in French cleat. And now we're going to drill some holes, which is the perfect application for a CNC machine. I couldn't imagine drilling all of these screw holes by hand, but the CNC makes it quick and easy and very accurate. We also have a lot of holes for bolts all over the stand, and the CNC makes that really easy too, even when the holes are a different diameter. The next pass is my favorite, is where we create the French cleats, and we're using a bit that cuts on a 45-degree angle. This takes a few passes, and we can probably optimize this toolpath a little bit more, but I tend to err on the side of caution so that there's no burn marks or broken bits. I get pretty excited about 45-degree angles. I have no idea why. We're almost done with all the cuts. Now it's time to do the final passes. And we're using a compression bit here, which is kind of funky. The tip of the bit is for up cuts and the rest of the bit is for down cuts. And it's basically just to get clean edges on the top and bottom. And all of these final cuts are used to release the pieces from the rest of the material. We do these final cuts in stages because we don't want any of the pieces to break free accidentally. We start with the smallest pieces on the interior spaces. Then we work our way outwards and cut the largest pieces last. This has proven to be a great method in keeping all the pieces in place. If we cut the smallest pieces first, there's a higher chance that things could break free, and I don't really want to start another garage fire with small parts rubbing against the spindle. Here are all the final cuts. Some of our bits are getting a little dull, so they need to be swapped out, but overall the cuts are nice and clean and accurate. But we are far from done. A lot of people think all we do is run the CNC machine, then throw all the cut parts in a box and ship it out. That is far from the truth. There's so much more work involved. We use the thing called tabs to keep all the pieces in place. These need to be cut so we can get the parts out. This takes a bunch of time and requires some sanding cleanup, which we'll show in a sec. And here's all the pieces that we just cut out on the CNC. This is only a third of the pieces for our full 3D printer stand. There are two other 48 by 48 panels that we need to cut in order to get all the pieces that we need for a full stand. And all of those pieces need to be sanded. The Avid CNC is an amazing machine and I love it, but it doesn't have an attachment to do sanding for you. Every piece has to have some finished sanding. We don't want to ship to our customers any rough edges. It needs to be cleaned up and look really nice. Because we ship these out as a flat pack kit, our customers are going to see every edge when they're putting this together. And it's just not a good look to deliver a product to a customer and then have them have to deal with rough or frayed edges. And this goes for all the nooks and crannies also. Our designer does not like to keep things simple and is always putting divots or dados or slots or anything into the wood, and all of these edges need to be sanded. We are also really paranoid about sharp edges, so we do a once over with a sanding block just to knock down any sharp edges so people don't cut or nick themselves. And here are all of the final pieces for one complete printer stand. There are a lot of different parts, but we built it this way to save on material since material is very expensive these days. Now it's time to pack them up and ship them off. We organize all of the pieces by shelf. This makes it a little bit easier for the customer to assemble because they know what parts go with what shelf. And we start off by wrapping one piece to create a back layer that other small pieces can rest on top of. This makes it easier just to wrap the whole thing in one big group instead of having to use like a piece of cardboard as a backing board or something like that. And this takes a lot of Tetrising the pieces together, but we want to save as much space as possible to reduce shipping costs. This is the finished wrapped up part that we ship. There's actually a couple different layers of these for each drawer and each shelf, but you can get the idea of how we pack and ship these. And that's the whole process. This is what you would receive if you ordered one of our printer stand kits. Thanks for watching, and we might have more videos on our 3D printer stands. We're designing a new one right now for the Snapmaker U1. Cool, thanks.